All right, all right. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. I'm Teacher Niv. This is Dr. Joe's reading writing class. Today is June 12th, 2025. If you can hear me clearly, can I get a 93 in the chat? If you can hear me clearly, can I get a 93 in the chat? All right. Okay, Annabelle can't. Annabelle gave me a 9 and a 3. Maybe she heard 9 and 3 instead of 93. So maybe you guys have some audio issues on accident. Okay. Russell heard 39, which yeah, that's incorrect. Okay, anyways, let's get started. So in the wild light, why did I say it like that? In the wild light, Jeff Zentner. This is a author we've discussed before. So let's get Edith or Russell start us off.
In the wild light. Life in a small Appalachian town is not easy. Cash lost his mother to an opioid addiction, and his papa, papa is dying slowly from emphysema. Emphysema.
Empathy.
Emphysema. Dodging drug dealers and watching out for his best friend Delaney is second nature. He's been spending his summer morning mowing lawns while she works at Dairy Queen. But when Delaney manages to secure both of them full rides to an elite prep school in Connecticut, Cash will have to grapple with his need to protect and love Delaney, and his love for the grandparents who saved him and the town he would have to leave behind. From the award-winning author of The Serpent King comes a beautiful examination of grief, found family, and young love.
Awesome. Um, Thanks for reading that, Russell. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on here, and a lot of feelings that you guys may feel in the future too, right? If you decide, um, to sort of maybe go far away for school, things like that, and it deals with a lot of the feelings people have, right? Maybe like guilt for leaving, not spending enough time with their parents, or leaving their friends behind, etc. So could be relatable. Maybe not so much at your guys' age right now, but maybe in the future. Okay. Author, can I get a quick bio? Ethan, would you like to read this?
Jeff Zemeter is an award-winning American author known for his emotionally resonant young adult novels, including The Serpent King, Goodbye Days, and In the Wild Light. Originally from Tennessee, Zettner began his career as a musician before to write turning to write in his 30s. Inspired by his time mentoring teens at music camps, his southern roots and love for storytelling shine through in his character-driven books, which often explore themes of grief, friendship, identity, and resilience. In addition to writing, he also works as a lawyer and lives in Nashville.
Awesome. Um, okay, so let's what's going on? Sorry. Rustler says, where Jeffrey, I believe Jeffrey said he was going to be on vacation for like a month or two. Um, so anyways, let's go to the quote of the day. Goodbye Days is one of Jeff Zentner's books. Our memories of our loved ones are the pearl we form around the grain of grief that causes us pain. A little bit more challenging than our usual quotes. That's totally fine. I believe you guys can handle this. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna give you guys, we only have 4 people right now, so you know what? We could definitely do a bit more time. We could do 5 minutes, but I really want everyone to try their best for this one, okay? 5 minutes starting now. Maybe you guys can maybe include examples to explain this better. When is it relevant, etc.
Wait, teacher Niv, who wrote this quote?
Jeff Zentner. Let me include his name here. Okay. Time is up. Let's see what we came up with. All right, let's start with Samuel and Ethan. Oh my gosh. The Zoom chat is killing me. It takes copying stuff from it is takes so long. Okay, Ethan, start us off.
When we feel pain of any kind, that pain is to help us thrive through to see through to our loved ones. And this quote is saying how the memories of the good times with our loved ones are better memories than the memories of grief and pain. But the pain is also to reflect on why we felt that pain and how we should learn from them. That is why we can help find ways to encounter that pain, but without having all of the grief and sadness.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay, interesting. So, first, when we feel pain of any kind, now we need a comma. That pain is to help us thrive through to see our loved ones. Okay, so I would just change, we don't have to repeat the subject, that pain again. So we can say it is, let's say, there to help us um thrive through to see thrive through to see through to our love. Thrive and see. Okay, so just gonna highlight this. I'm not too sure exactly what the main goal here is. Maybe if you're trying to say like see through to the end of our loved ones, that makes sense. But if not, it just needs to be clear here. And so you can get rid of this and. This quote is saying how the memories of good times with our loved ones are better than the memories of grief and pain. I would say in our lives because it's kind of like, are you talking about the loved ones or grief and or grief and pain in your life in general? So I would clarify that. But the pain is also to reflect on why we've shoot there. But okay. Okay, so I would say maybe this needs to be changed. So we could say, but the pain is useful when we reflect on why we felt that pain, maybe something like that. Or we could say, you know, but reflecting on why we felt that pain is important, etc. Right? So I would then cross this out and say pain is useful if we reflect on why we felt that pain and how we should. Okay, so this comma is not needed. Why? Because this is basically what I call a list of two items. The pain is useful if we do this and reflect on why and how. Yes, so pain is useful for two reasons. Reason one, reason two. So it's just an and is fine. This second part is not a full sentence, so there's no comma needed. And then obviously capitals here. That way we can help find ways to help find way, that way we can not help, right? We can find ways to encounter that pain without having all that grief and sadness. And then here, this second half is not a full sentence, right? If you just read the words, but without having all of that grief and sadness, there's no subject. So this is not a full sentence. So therefore, this comma is incorrect as well. We just need to get rid of it, and then it's fine. Okay, awesome. Awesome. So, okay, yeah. So, grief and sadness causes pain, but the memories are better, and we can learn from it. Great. The only thing here I would say is fix you got to fix that first sentence there. Awesome. Thanks for that, Ethan. Samuel, would you like to read yours?
This quote means that the people we love and care about can hurt us the most because we care about them too much. For example, if a mom and daughter love each other deeply, the mother gets cancer, the daughter would get hurt more than if a stranger did.
Awesome, awesome. So firstly, I just saw this wrong then. This quote means that people we love and care about can hurt us the most because we care about them too much. I would say yes, this first sentence is true, but I don't think it directly. I think you're specifically talking about if we lose them. So I would say this quote means that losing, right? Maybe that's what you mean. I think that's what you mean. So I would add that there. Losing the people, oh, that should be highlighted red. Should be red. Losing the people we love and care about can hurt us the most because we care about them too much. For example, deeply. So the if is setting up a scenario. If the mom and daughter love each other deeply and the mom gets cancer, and the mom gets cancer is part of this scenario and it flows nicely. So we can actually just remove that comma. The daughter would get hurt more than if a stranger did. So I would say change this did to gets cancer or got cancer. Stranger, or we're talking present sense. Gets cancer. Reason I said that is because you said did here, and it's right after we said the daughter would get hurt more. So the active verb here in this case, or the subject at hand could be the daughter getting hurt or the mother getting cancer. So we need to clarify that. Awesome. Good stuff there, Samuel. And very good point. Yeah, people who you love can hurt you the most. Rustler, go for it.
I believe that the quote indicated that although loss hurts, we find beauty in remembering what we've lost and forging memories that become treasures to help heal the pain, basically by creating something beautiful from something painful. One time it becomes relevant is when you lose a loved one. At first, it is sharp and overwhelming, but gradually you start to remember the good things and that pain fades away.
Awesome. I believe the quote indicates or indicated that although we find. So we can just actually just turn this into active. The quote indicates that although loss hurts, we find meaning in remembering what we've lost and forging memories. Great. Wow. Awesome. Great sentence here. Great intro. Basically, by creating something beautiful from something painful. Awesome. One time it becomes relevant. When you lost the love. So, okay, an example of a time. So this needs to be changed, not one time. You could say an example of a time it becomes relevant, or it becomes relevant, etc. But just saying one time it becomes relevant is when you lose a loved one time. Yeah, it just feels very specific. When you just mean in general, this quote is relevant when you lose someone. It feels a little awkward here, this sentence. At first it is sharp and overwhelming, but gradually you start to remember the good things and the favors. Awesome. Very good job, Russell. Okay, let's see. Who do I have left? We got Jalia and Annabelle, last but not least. All right. Jalia, start us off.
What Jeff Center is trying to convey is the importance of having people you love dearly. He tells us that your loved ones will always be there for you and are the pearl around the grain of grief.
Awesome. Okay, so that's another interpretation. I like that. I also like the incorporation of the quote. Great use of the quote. Great flow. Awesome. Good stuff, Xiaoya. Of course, you definitely can add more to this, but I think you joined late, so awesome. Okay, Annabelle, would you like to read yours?
This quote compares grief to a grain of sand that causes pain, much like how it irritates an oyster. Over time, just like how the oyster formed a pearl around the grain, we build memories around our grief. These memories can become beautiful and meaningful, even though the pain remains at the center. We can never forget the pain, no matter how large the pearl grows. In this way, the memories become the pearl that help us live with the hurt.
Awesome. Quote compares grief. Grief to grain of sand that causes pain, much like irritates oyster. Wow, this is awesome. Very impressed with this analysis, Annabelle. You never forget the pain, no matter how large the pearl grows. In this way, the pearl that helps us live with it. That is awesome. Great. This is amazing, Annabelle. I love I love how you are constantly sort of going back and forth between um using the analogy of like pain and the pearl and the sand, kind of going back and forth to explain what you mean, and explain it very thoroughly. This is great, great job, Annabelle. Very impressed. Okay, let's go to vocab of the day. Um, Actually, I'm just gonna. I know sometimes I highlight them green, and when it's I think it's very good. So, I just wanted to put that there. Okay, vocab of the day. Can I get a volunteer? James, can you read the vocab words?
Recluse, someone who avoids other people and lives a solitary life. Example, the old author became a recluse, rarely leaving her house after retirement. Insouciant, adjective, casually unconcerned, indifferent, or carefree. Example, he strolled into a meeting with an insouciant air, completely unfazed by detention. Reticent, reserved or reluctant to speak freely. Though she had strong opinions, she remained reticent during the debate. Imbroglio, a complicated or confusing situation, a misunderstanding with serious consequences. Example, the political imbroglio nearly caused the collapse of the coalition government. Stolid, adjective, calm, dependable, and showing little emotion or animations. Example, the stolid guard stood motionless no matter what the tourist said.
I just realized I was muted this whole time. Okay, I was saying I'm starting the 3-minute timer. Short paragraph or short sentence with all the words. All right, starting the timer now. Also think of a hot take because I think that's the next section. All right, time is up. Let's see what we came up with. Okay, wow, we have a few more paragraphs. Maybe I have to start banning paragraphs on this.
Can you put the words in the chat? I'm not done yet.
Oh, sorry. Give me 1 second. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, James, sorry. I just realized I might have skipped your activity from the last one because you sent it in private message, and Zoom has this weird thing now where private messages are its own like separate tab. So I'm sorry about that. Actually, you know what? We can probably do it quickly. Um, okay, James, would you like to read yours? This is from the last activity.
I think that this quote means that you have to cherish the time you have with your loved ones and not waste time. The memories of your loved ones are more important than memories that cause pain.
Awesome. Yeah, I totally agree. Cherish time with your loved ones, and positive memories are more important than negative ones. I mean, you always hear of, people on their deathbed or like they're close to dying, and um they talk about how they just wish they did more, or they're so glad at the things they did in their lives, and they never really think about like all those things that cause them worry and grief, right? So something to keep in mind. Okay, James, would you like to read your response for the next activity?
Jimmy became a recluse after retiring from being a stolen guard. He will walk around his house insultantly and now not reticent when speaking, an imbroglio to his friends.
Nice, nice. And in Brooklyn, is it nice? He'd walk around his house insouciantly. Casually, yes. And is now not reticent. Awesome. Although this sort of recluse is someone who avoids other people. So yeah, I guess it still kind of works. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff, James. Okay. Let's get sorry. 1 second. Xiaoya, would you like to read your response?
Bob was stolen an insouciant mayor who never lived in recluse and was never reticent to speak about an imbroglio.
Okay. Okay, fair enough. Was never reticent to speak about an imbroglio. Fair enough, fair enough. Good stuff, Xiaoya. Okay, Rustler, go for it.
The recluse remained reticent in the imbroglio, despite all the other insouciant and stolid people.
Awesome. Yeah. Awesome. Very good job. Samuel, go for it.
Casey was reticent to speak in front of the news reporters because he was a recluse. He also was insouciant about politics and was stolid about it too. Although when his mom made him read a book based on government, he got caught in an imbroglio with his mom after.
Awesome. Great stuff, Samuel. Okay, Ethan.
The boss was a rescue after he sold his company. The student was an insolent about his science was insolent about a science test. She was reticent during his summative speech. The Europeans' embargo had caused the Aztec Empire to collapse. The student was afraid of the stolid gargoyle on the sides of the house.
Awesome. This is gargoyle. So let's just put that in red. And I believe you meant Aztec here. So awesome. Good stuff, Ethan. Annabelle, and last but not least.
The mayor developed a sickness that caused him to become a reticent and stolid recluse, much different from the insouciant man who he once was, causing an imbroglio.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Annabelle. Okay, guys. Let's move on to the hot takes. All right. I should say example. Give another hot take of yours and explain why this is your belief. Defend your position to the best of your ability in 4 minutes. And remember, you will then attack someone else's position. So keep that in mind. So 4 minutes starting now. Okay. Time is up. Let's see what we came up with. Well, these are some good hot takes, but they're also kind of long, so maybe I should drop the time for them. Next time, we'll see. Actually. Okay, Rustler, start us off.
Apple products are just overpriced status symbols with nothing innovative anymore. Let's be honest, Apple hasn't truly innovated in years. What once was a company known for revolutionizing personal computing, music, phones, and tablets has slowly turned into a luxury brand that thrives on sleek marketing rather than genuine technological breakthroughs.
Awesome. This is very well written, very well presented. Awesome. Not formal language, but still very good. Also, I like the structure. I personally generally avoid things like let's be honest, things like that, but it works well for this for sure. Very good intro, very good um points following.
If you compare a Samsung S23 with an Apple iPhone 16, the prices are way off the charts. Also,
Prices are tough to defend. Michelle, you have something to say?
And also the iPhone 15, it's literally the same thing as an iPhone 14, but it's made with titanium, so it's actually better.
And it's bigger
Yeah,
by like 1 centimeter, but it's still 2 times the price.
yeah,
Wait.
because it's better for some reason. I don't know why, but it is. It's like the same
Oh.
thing. No, iPhone 13, 14, 15, and 16 are like the same thing. I don't even know what they did to it. They were like, okay, we're finished making the iPhone 13. We're just going to duplicate it. We're going to 2 times the price, and that's the iPhone 14, guys.
So
Okay.
you gotta rename the chip. It's A13 for the iPhone 13. You gotta
But now it's
rename
A14. Now it's an entirely
A14.
different thing.
Although I don't know how familiar you guys are with chips and chip manufacturing.
There's absolutely no difference.
Apple chips are actually
Have no difference
pretty,
from the previous model.
well, I mean, very non-noticeable, but there is difference, but the chips themselves are very impressive. But on Apple, on iPhones, you don't really use the full power of them. Anyways, Samuel, would you like to read yours?
Artists shouldn't be titled overrated. All music artists have their own sense and style, and just because some people don't like that genre doesn't mean they should be hated on unless they do something unethically correct.
Ooh, interesting one. Interesting take. I like this. I think you might also get attacked on this part. Should them doing something unethical affect their art? That's you're kind of teasing at that question here as well. Good stuff. Um, okay, Ethan, would you like to read yours?
TCG is the best way to play games. They provide entertainment while watching and intense gameplay with lots of action. While not being on your device, that can while not being on your device, that can hurt your eyes and cause migraines the more you are on the more you are on a device. This way you can enjoy playing a fun, entertaining game with your friends while staying off the screens and not having to constantly use electricity.
Awesome. Ethan, I have no idea what TCG is.
Trading card game.
Table card game.
Trading.
Trading card game. Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay.
Magic, come on.
Okay. Trading. So definitely needs to not be an acronym, especially in the first sentence.
Okay.
Trading card games. I wouldn't say the best way to play games. I mean, they're the best type of games is what you're really trying to get at. Best, when watching an intense. I'm gonna say best type of games because they provide entertainment. Awesome, but very good, very good point. It's still very social. It's still very fun. Still can be very intense. Also, you have to use your brain a lot of the time for the strategy component and no electricity. Very good points. Okay. James, would you like to read yours?
Video games are an extremely healthy exercise that strengthens your mental health while also being an extremely fun activity. Video games can also help you socialize with friends and random strangers. Video games reward creativity and also the feeling of achievement. Wow, I started with video games too much. Are an amazing thing that everybody should definitely play.
Awesome. Okay, interesting. I mean, I agree on some parts, but you know, you say things like extremely healthy exercise and things like that could be attacked. Mm, last but not least, the girls again. Okay, Xiaoya, would you like to read yours?
I couldn't think of a good one, so yeah. Mac and cheese should be eaten with a fork and not a spoon. When we eat mac and cheese with a fork, we can easily pick them up, pile them on, and shove it into our mouths. However, if you use a spoon, we will spend a solid 5 minutes trying to get the pasta shells into our mouth without it falling off the spoon that is as slippery as the ice at Antarctica.
This is very funny. I actually disagree personally. I think it should be eaten with a spoon instead of a fork, but that's funny. Um, okay, Annabelle, would you like to read yours?
Fall is the best season because it is neither cold nor hot. It has a perfect weather, and it is also the season where most people harvest their crops. Halloween is also in fall. Halloween is one of the best and most important holidays. Plus, during fall, all the trees turn yellow, red, and orange, making the forest beautiful.
Awesome. Awesome. I think I actually agree with yours, Annabelle. Very cool. Okay, so who submitted first? Russell. Russell, whose would you like to attack?
Hmm. Can't attack James's.
Okay. James, who would you like to attack?
Ah, wait, I said I'm not gonna attack
Oh,
James's because I
sorry.
can't.
Oh, you said you can't. Okay, sorry, my bad. Okay, whose would you attack?
Um, I'm gonna attack. Wait, go up. Ethan's.
Okay, Ethan, who would you like to attack?
James.
James, okay. Okay, James, who would you like to attack?
Can I see the down?
Yep. Sorry, let me just put these in one slide. There we go.
Annabelle.
James, Annabelle. All right, Annabelle, how about you?
Wait, was I muted?
Yes.
Russell's.
Russell. Okay. If you close the loop, then that leaves okay, that can still work. Okay, Samuel and Zhaoya. Samuel and Zhaoya, you guys are going to attack each other.
Wait, what is Samuel's? Oh, okay. Got it.
Sorry, I'm just writing them out. Okay. So, did I miss anyone? No, I don't think so. Okay, great. So, oh, do I not have a slide for the defense portion? Okay, that's weird. That is very weird. Maybe I deleted it, actually. Okay. Now, attack your designated person's opinion. Oh, now I remember why, because I need to show this slide. Okay, I'll also throw this in the chat if it helps anyone. Never mind, that's too big. Okay, we're just gonna leave this here. Okay, I'm gonna do 3-minute timer. Starting now.
Wait, tell me, what do you mean by titles overrated?
Like, when they you know, for like Taylor Swift, that like everyone says like
Oh, okay.
she's
I didn't
over.
know you meant like
Yeah.
title overrated.
Okay, time is up. Let's see what we came up with. Okay, Ethan, start us off.
Hold on, I'm making some edits. I accidentally pressed the enter button.
Okay. All right, Samuel, start us off.
Eating mac and cheese with a fork can carry a lot less food than with a spoon. If you want a quick and simple meal, using a fork can drain a lot of your time, so why not just use a spoon? Even in restaurants, when you order mac and cheese, it always comes with a spoon. And restaurants are the professionals that you can't argue with. Some say it may be slippery, but that just means they don't know how to use a spoon.
Okay, interesting. You want a quick, simple meal, using a fork can drain a lot of your time. Interesting points, interesting points. Good stuff, Samuel. Okay, wow. Russell with the essay. Okay, Russell, go for it.
While trading card games have their strengths, saying they're superior to regular video games ignores several major advantages that video games bring to the table. Firstly, TCGs are limited to static artwork, making it hard to fully immerse yourself in a world. In contrast, video games let you be the character. You explore vast environments and live the story in real time. Oh, yeah, remove the comma. TCGs can't offer that level of sensory engagement. Secondly, most TCGs have a loose lore that players may or may not engage with, since they are only cards. Lastly, your description of damage to your eyes in video games can be vastly something by
Mitigated.
controlling your screen time and a variety of other methods without compromising fun.
Sorry, did you get stuck on this word?
Yeah, how do you pronounce it again?
Mitigated.
Mitigated.
Okay, awesome. Okay, nice, very good. Very good intro. I like the intro sentence. You acknowledge his points and you well, not acknowledge specifically, but you just generally acknowledge. And then you point out the specific part that you have issue with, right? And I think that's done very well. And then that sets you up for great overall rebuttal. Also, damage to your eyes, by the way. There's a lot of studies that show that it's just done, damage to your eyes are just caused by being indoors. So you just need to be outdoors more often, not necessarily
Aha!
avoiding screens. Um, anyways, let's go to Xiaoya, go for it.
Some artists are overrated. Take Taylor Swift, for example. Her music has been played so many times on field trips, karaoke nights, and sleepovers that it just sounds like a lecture now. Don't get me wrong, I love Cruel Summer, but I listened to it so many times that it's going to become a Cruel Summer if I keep on listening to it.
Nice comedic rebuttal. I like it. Some artists are overrated. Okay.
Okay, I've listened to like Shake It Off so many times during my PE class, it sounds terrible now.
Yeah, I hate Shake It Off. Super annoying song. Maybe I liked it when it first came out, but yeah, I agree in that sense. I don't know if that makes them so although see, actually this is what's interesting. I will say that yes, I like your response, but it's missing some key point here. Artists are overrated, then you say Taylor Swift is overplayed. But you need to address the fact that you need to address the bridge between overrated and overplayed. I think you mean is they're overplayed because I don't know, people think it's everyone wants to listen to it all the time. And so by that metric, she's overrated. But that connection needs to be addressed, right? So I would just say I'm just gonna put a little point there. Okay, James, would you like to read yours?
Fall is clearly not the best season and summer is definitely better. It is overly hot, which is not much different from all the other seasons. When leaves fall from trees, it creates a big messes, which I assume people have to clean up leaves, which should be time consuming and a waste of time.
Okay, awesome. Fall is clearly not the best season, and summer is definitely better. It is overly hot. In the summer, more hot. I'm not too sure this point stands. Especially if you say summer right is better. You can say not the best summer, and then say it is too hot for whatever, but you can't say summer's better than overly hot as a point. So I'm just gonna take that as a logical error there. When leaves fall from trees, it creates big messes, which you don't have to say I assume. You can just clear that. Oh, what the? You could just say which people have to clean up, which people are cleaning up. You can say and is time consuming, right? Which is time consuming and a waste of time. So again, time consuming and waste of time is a little bit redundant. So we can just get rid of one of them. Awesome. Yeah. Leaves, mess, dead trees. They're big points. All right, Annabella, would you like to read yours?
Apple products are not overpriced because they are still inventing newer technology, like a more powerful chip which has faster CPU and GPU speed, and also supports new AI features. The newer technology also has more memory, better lighting and camera, smoother multitasking, no glitches, and does everything faster. The iPhone 16 even has wireless charging now.
Awesome. Very, very good points. Very good points. The new AI features do require the faster CPU and GPU speeds. Great points, Annabelle. Did you like look up some of this stuff, or like do you actually just know the stuff off the top?
My mom works at Apple.
Whoa, that's very cool. Okay, awesome. Okay, oh, okay, I see, Ethan, you just edited yours. Okay, Ethan, go for it.
This is just 200% incorrect. First of all, games can cost lots of money to even obtain, with lots of games having a pay-to-win aspect. So this pay-to-win aspect can cause a person who's playing a game to be enraged that another person beat them because they paid more money. Also, being on a screen can cause a lot of eye soreness while also causing minor to major migraines. While it is also very expensive to use electricity to play games, as well as being unsafe to talk to strangers in person, it is also not safe to talk to strangers online.
Awesome. Interesting. Okay, so again, we need to, address the point. Video games. Sorry. Video games are amazing. I forgot the actual main point. So we're just gonna go with this. Okay. First of all, video games can cost a lot of money to obtain, with a lot of games having a pay-to-win aspect. So video games can cost a lot of money to obtain, especially with a lot of games having a pay-to-win aspect. Now this needs a period. Get rid of this. So this pay-to-win aspect can cause a person who's playing a game to be enraged that another person beat them. Not because, right? I know we say cuz a lot when we're talking casually, but in writing it's incorrect. Cuz is just like short form for because when we speak. In text, this word was cause. So it's a little bit different. They paid more money. Also, being on the screen can cause a lot of eye soreness while also causing minor to major migraines. While it is very expensive to use the electricity to play games, as well as be unsafe to talk to strangers in person. Not safe to talk to strangers online. While it is also very expensive to use electricity to pay games, as well as being unsafe to talk to strangers in person. Okay, so the problem here is this is a negative about video games. This is actually like a positive. It's almost a positive of playing video games. So I would just say, therefore, since it is expensive, so I'm gonna highlight this main part. This just needs to be removed. You don't need to include that because it's a little misleading actually. So I would say, therefore, video games are not as healthy as they're said to be because they are very expensive and talking to strangers online can be just as dangerous as talking to them in person, something like that. Okay, awesome, good stuff, guys. That one was pretty good. Get your hot takes ready for next week as well, right? Try and get something that you feel passionate about and can be interesting. Okay, should we abolish the penny before?
No.
Awesome. Okay, let's do should we abolish the penny? Each year the US Mint produces billions of pennies. Many are hardly ever used. Are these small copper-colored coins worth the trouble? Okay, should we abolish the penny? Can I get a volunteer? Let's get James. James, can you read this one?
I have good news, I have bad news. Actually, I have crazy news and I have bad news. Actually, all the news I have is bad, but some of it is also crazy. Before you become totally freaked out, all the news I'm describing here is about pennies. It is nothing life or death, but you need to buckle up. If you're reading this and live in America or used to live in America, or maybe just went to America one time many years ago, then you are almost certainly performing unpaid labor for the U.S. government and have been for years. How? By storing some of billions of pennies the U.S. Mint makes every year that virtually no one uses. Why are we still making tons? Many thousands of tons of pennies if no one uses them? That's a sensible question with a psychotic answer. We have to keep making all these pennies over $45 million worth last year because no one uses them. In fact, it could be very bad if we did.
Because no one used them. Okay, that's kind of interesting. What I want to add is, when I was growing up in Canada, they stopped using the penny. They basically shut it down. And so I lived through that, and it was very interesting, very confusing at first. But then later on, you kind of realize that it's much, uh, it's totally fine. There's actually no issues. All right, Shaya?
They're like erasing Abraham Lincoln from like history.
You won't erase it from history, but yeah, it is iconic. The penny is super iconic.
Because what if it's like $3? What if it's $4 and you have $3.99? You have to have a penny, and if you don't have a penny, then what are you gonna do?
Credit card.
Well, so in Canada,
We
they
have
don't have
credit
pennies.
cards.
No, but what if they only accept cash? So what do you do? Oh yeah, I'll just like pull out a penny from like
No,
the genie's like lantern or something.
so in Canada, everything is rounded up or down, right? Like, um, so it just like, yes, technically you could lose 2 cents here, 2 cents there, but over time, like the penny is so worthless now that those are negligible most of the time. And most of the time prices are priced in a way where even after tax, it naturally rounds to a number, an easy number. But anyways, okay, let's keep going. Can we get another volunteer? Let's get Ethan. Ethan, can you read this one?
When you insert a quarter into a soda machine, that quarter eventually finds its way back into a bank from where it can be redistributed into a store's cash register and handed out as change, maybe even to you who can put it into a soda machine again and start the whole process over. That's beautiful. Please be mindful of your soft drink consumption. But few of us ever spend pennies. We mostly just store them. The 1 cent coin or whatever you've left them, a glass jar, a winter purse, an RAV4 cup holder, a 5-gallon water cooler dispenser, the couch. Many of them are simply on the ground. But take it from me, a former cashier. Cashiers don't have time to scrounge on the sidewalk every time they need to make change. That is where the mint comes in. Every year, it makes a few billion more pennies to replace the one the ones everyone is to replace the ones everyone is thoughtlessly, indefinitely storing and scattering them like condusa seeds across the nation. You, a scientist of some kind, possibly might think of an obvious solution to present itself. Why not encourage people to use pennies that they have lying around instead of manufacturing new ones every year? We can't. Or anyways, we better not. According to a Mint report, if even a modest share of our neglected penny suddenly returned to circulation, the result would be logically unmanageable dilemma for Earth's wealthiest nation, as in the penny tsunami would overwhelm government votes.
Awesome, awesome. So that is fascinating in my opinion. So they expect people to lose pennies every year, and they produce, I think it said like $45 million worth of pennies every year, sort of to add to the circulation and they partly to account for all the pennies they expect that were lost. But imagine there's someone who has been storing every or like a ton of pennies that like they thought were lost, and then all of a sudden puts it back into the economy and decides to spend it all. Um, the government would be so confused. It would be like, where's all this money coming from? Like, what? We thought this lost, and it would just like affect the value of dollars, etc. Russell?
So how did Canada do it?
So Canada made announcements for like years, like 1 or 2 years. And then that gives enough time for store owners to maybe adjust prices, or a lot of devices had to change stuff. Um, and then when they changed it on some day, and yeah, prices either went up 2 cents or down 2 cents. That was it, pretty much. Um, and then every time like you in that there was a period of time where pennies were still usable, like you could go to the bank if you had like a lot of pennies, go to the bank and they will convert it. But then after a certain period of time, I think it was like 1 year, after that year pennies were literally nothing, like they're worth a zero. So yeah, Jaya.
So like if you like pulled out a penny, they'd be like, okay, you're arrested because that's not allowed there.
No, it's not arrested. They're just like, oh, it's just a piece of metal, it means nothing.
Bro, you're just erasing Abraham Lincoln from yeah.
Well, I mean, Canada didn't have Abraham Lincoln, but
Oh yeah, right, I'm stupid.
don't say no, you're not stupid, don't say that. Okay, let's continue.
They
Uh,
have Trudeau.
I don't think he's on the penny. I wonder. I think it's like a queen or something on the penny, or what the last penny. Um, okay, let's get who wants to read? Annabelle, I haven't heard from you in a little while.
That's not great, but at the end of the day, we're only talking about pennies. How much could a penny cost to make? A penny If only we lived in such a paradise. Unfortunately, a penny costs more than 3 pennies, 3.07 cents at last count, to make and distribute. When I learned this, I lost my mind. Whose fault is this, and who can make it stop? I spent months pleading for answers from government officials, former mint employees, numismatists, economists, scientists, scrap metal industrialists, souvenir elongated penny machinists, historians, business people, poverty researchers, and even Canadians. Everyone said the same thing. Only Congress can retire the American 1-cent coin. Well, actually, there is maybe good news. Everyone might be wrong. While writing an article about all this for the Time Museum, I'm pretty sure I found a loophole buried deep in forgotten annals of the U.S. legal code that could end this pointless penny play. I think there is one person in the United States who could literally kill the penny this afternoon if he or she wants to. It's the President of the United States or the Director of the Mint or the head of Coinstar, a private coin recycling company that has become a crucial cog in the U.S. monetary system. Though I had a lovely long talk with him. In fact, it's probably not anyone you would think of. Find out who in a magazine story.
What?
Awesome. Okay. Let's get one last person. Samuel, can you read this one?
And if you are a penny lover, there is happy news for you, too. Since it first began issuing 1-cent coins in 1793, the United States has produced about 500 billion of them, far more than the numbers of stars in the Milky Way. Even if we get rid of the penny, there will be plenty to go around forever.
Awesome. Okay, so let's do this one first. How persuasive is Miss Weaver's argument that it's time to retire the American 1-cent coin? What might be the downsides of abolishing the penny? I'm going to give you guys 4 minutes. Let's see what you can come up with, starting now. Okay, time is up. Let's see what we came up with. All right, Ethan, start us off.
Miss Weaver's argument was not that persuasive because she was mainly giving her own opinion on the penny. The downside of abolishing the penny is that yes, it can save money, but it can also cause a lot of people having small paying jobs to have some of their money taken away from them, and that can happen to anyone with a few jars of spare change. It can also cause stores to lose money with the extra changes they have, while also making stores change most of their prices.
Okay, awesome. Ms. View is not persuasive because she was mainly giving her own opinion on the penny. Is that it can save money. Not, but but it can also cause lots of people having small paying jobs to have some of their money taken away from them. I know it's a few jars. So okay, great. I mean I like your argument, except like so normally there would be a period of time, like let's say a year, where you can exchange your pennies for cash, right? So it wouldn't necessarily be the case, but that is a fair argument for sure. Okay, Annabelle, would you like to read yours?
Miss Weaver's argument is persuasive, especially the part where she says the penny costs 3 pennies to make. However, some downsides of removing the penny completely is that if a product is 91 cents, it will be rounded up and you will end up paying a whole dollar, which is a scam.
Awesome. And no, it wouldn't be 91 to a dollar, it'd be 91 to 95. So you still have the nickel, right? But yes, the point still stands. Which is a scam. Okay. Good stuff. Let's oh wait. James and Zhao, yeah. Okay, James, would you like to read yours?
I think that there will be many downsides to abolishing the American 1-cent coin. Abolishing pennies can increase the price of items. Without the pennies, prices would be forced to be rounded to the nearest nickel, which making things cost more. Charities also depend on donations, and without the penny, donations would likely decrease. Without the pennies, government would also have to distribute more nickels, which could lead to an overall higher cost if nickels cost more than pennies.
Oh, that's a very good point. That's a
Oh wait,
very
I forgot to say to make.
nickels higher cost if nickels cost more to make. Let's put this in here. Awesome. Good stuff. Very good point there, James. Okay. Xiaoya, would you like to read yours?
Mr. Weaver's argument was not persuasive. Removing the penny would completely wipe out all the iconic moments in life. You would miss going to the store and getting a penny back exchange. You'd also be erasing a form of currency. It's like getting rid of the $1 bill. You wouldn't want to do that, would you?
Awesome. Good stuff, Xiaoya. So actually, I agree with your like I agree as in I think this is probably the best argument for keeping the penny because logistically doesn't really make sense. Um but yeah, this is a very good this is a very good point. Now, you would be racing for currency. Now, I wonder what happens in the future because not I don't know if you guys know like inflation is a thing. So every year your $1 is worth a little tiny bit less. Eventually, I feel like $1 will get to the point where it's like treated like a penny. Unless they do something. I don't know how this works, but yeah, so like I think eventually there'll be a point where nickels are not worth anything and they get rid of nickels and then so on and so forth. So yeah, okay. Great stuff, Sharia. No other responses. That is okay. Homework question is completely unrelated. Do you think that people have lost the ability or capacity for solitude, which means to be alone? And yeah, that's the homework question. I will leave you all. Sorry, that will be all for today. I'll see you all next week. Have a good one. Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.